mouth is huge. And like one bad review can crater your business. And like one bad customer service experience, people are more likely to tell people about a bad experience than they are to tell them about a good experience. So if you have, good reviews and everything, but then, you let your customer service go lax because you are growing too fast or whatever the reason may be, or a lot of people, they start making money, their business starts to take off, and they stop thinking that customer service is the reason why they were doing so well in the first place, and they start getting really lax on customer service. And I always wanted to, and I also think it has a lot to do with what my dad taught me. He started the janitorial business, and running that business, I learned that, the whole thing about the customer is always right. And of course there are bad customers and you have to get rid of them in a nice, professional way. I mean, the internet has made it where people get on, and if they have a bad customer, or if their customer asks too many questions, or their first instinct is to get on social media and talk about their customers in a negative way. And I don't know about you, but like, if I'm online and I see a business owner talking about their customers, about how, I'm not answering these stupid DMs anymore, or like anything like that publicly, I'm like, well, I don't want to be their customer. But for me, like, I never do that. And then I always offer a good customer experience and customer education. If a customer's doing something that doesn't align with my scope or how I want things done, they get a pleasantly worded email that explains to them how we do things. Like, there's a lot of little patting on the back and being kind to people that can accelerate your business. People will come back to you. Like, I have customers who cancel all the time, but I never get on and be like, they're broke or they can't afford my stuff. No, I'm like, don't worry. Everyone goes through a hard time. I've been there myself. Whenever you're ready to come back, we'll be here and we'll be ready to help you again, or whatever, the case may be. I think it makes a huge difference. You won't find a customer out there who has something negative to say about one of my businesses, because even if we didn't do what we said we were going to do, we gave them a refund. I would rather give a client a full refund than to give them the opportunity to go out there and say, I'm a scam artist, because there's too many scam artists out here. And once you get labeled as one, there's just no coming back from that.
No, that is definitely well said, and I agree with you. That it's not professional or not morally right to go on social media and start rumors or talk about a customer in such a way, that it says a lot more about you than actually the customer.
Right.
I think that most people don't realize that, 'cause it makes you untrustworthy. Because there's people, like you said, on social media, they can have one bad customer, and they're on Instagram Live for 3 hours, and
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to be your customer. What if I say the wrong thing? Or like, what if I have an issue and try to address it with you, and instead of getting customer service in return, I get blasted on Instagram Live? Like, that's not the experience I want as a client. I want, and especially like in businesses where things are supposed to be confidential. Um, like, no one should know I'm your client unless I give you permission to tell people that I'm your client, or if I write a review for you. I mean, I think that has long gone. Social media has made it very difficult, to be a client and a business owner. It's a fine line to walk, but I feel like we do a really good job. And also, in doing so, like, when I have good customer service with one business and I've built a brand that people trust, it makes it very simple for me to open another business and be very successful, because they already trust me. If they trusted me to help them build their business credit, of course they're going to trust me to help them find the virtual assistant that will help them, because they already trusted me once and I fulfilled, and did a good job. So they're going to continue to follow me on whatever services that I offer. And so having good customer service allows you to expand your business and keep that same customer base. I don't want to have to recycle my customers every month. I want those same customers that were with me in the very beginning to be buying that product that I'm selling 10 years down the road, because I have been consistent and I have been, a good morally right person.
Yeah, that's well said, and that's something I hope we didn't go over the listeners at the fact that you're able to find a audience, a person, a customer, and basically walk them through your entrepreneurship journey, whether it's credit repair, whether it's the virtual assistant, so you have that same customer and you're helping them through the different stage of business. And I think, one thing that I'm grasping from this conversation is your empathy,
Yeah.
understanding that, we all go through hard times, we all go through different things. And like you mentioned, that, when people go on this rant on social media, they talk about people like they're broke or this and that. And I feel like something that people fail to realize or fail to remember at times is that they were once at that same position where you
Yeah.
couldn't afford certain things or certain situations happen. So I'm glad that you do that. And that leads me to my next question. How important is it for entrepreneurs to show empathy, you know, as they growing, as they getting more influence to their customers, to their peers? How important is having that characteristic of empathy?
It is very important. It's also a very hard, it's very difficult as an entrepreneur to juggle your empathy um and being an entrepreneur. Like, so for instance, I can't be in charge of like HR for my businesses because I am so empathetic, and I do remember every day what I went through and how different things would have been if someone had reached out and helped me. That I've always wanting to help everyone. And sometimes business owners have to learn that if they are super empathetic, that they have to have people in place in their businesses or departments in their businesses that come between them and the sad stories that they're going to run into, because every single person, whether it's an employee or a client, is going to have a sad story, and there's a fine line between being profitable and being a charity program, absolutely, and so it's hard for me because I am so empathetic. I want to help everybody, like I want everyone to get to experience the transformation that I've been through, and oftentimes I forget how much work ethic I have behind what I do. I never asked anyone for help. I got up every single day and worked until I couldn't hold my eyes open anymore. And a lot of people don't have that work ethic, and they expect handouts from people who have found success without the actual work behind it. So I had to find a balance between being super empathetic and wanting to save everybody, to being a entrepreneur who can take care of my entire family, live the type of lifestyle I want, because I worked really hard all night long, all day long for years. Um, so empathy is super important, and every person should exercise empathy in everything that they do. But you also, as an entrepreneur, you have to be very careful that you don't over empathy your business to the point where you don't have a business anymore,
Mhm.
because you've given it all away. So it is important, but you also have to have that